Welcome to this amazing tutorial on how to make a website, the absolute basics, on Windows 10, the greatest Windows 11 can get wrecked. You make a new folder for your project. We're going to call this My Webs. Anything you want to do, call it whatever. Next, I'm going to make a HTML page. We're going to start off as a text document. It's going to be called index. Now, if you went index.html, that might look nice, but surprise, Windows has secretly made that a text file. And the only way you can find that out is if you click View, File Name Extensions, turn that on. Okay, so now I click it and look, there we go. Now it's a real HTML file because it opens up in Chrome. It's nothing, there's nothing there. So what I need to do is add some stuff. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to open this in. You can do Notepad, but I like Notepad++. It looks like this. And we're going to get some starter code. So we can use W3 Schools. I have a HTML guide here. All right, and I'm going to use this starter code. Now, let me explain this starter code. Get rid of all these other things that are open in the background. All HTML, you need to tell it it's a HTML. So you see it has a start and end tag there. It's got a body down here and a head up here, much like a regular person. You say, welcome to my whatever. You can put your thing in here. This is my home page. Home pages are always index.html. Okay? That's what most will use because it tends to default to that. Okay? So right now, that's my web page, and I do have like a little nav bar in there, but I don't think it's quite working, but let's just save it as that for the moment. Okay, so then I'm going to close out of that and check that it works. I double click, I open it up, and there it is. Welcome to my whatever. This is my home page. I click home, about. Oh, it's gone to /about, but there is no about because it hasn't been created. Here's how to create it. You click here, you right click, or you go copy. You right click, you press paste, or Control C, Control V. Okay? And I think I called it about.html. About. Now, it will link to about. The only thing is, if I click into this, welcome to my whatever about thing, it looks the same. Now, that actually is a different web page, but I duplicated the first one, so you'd never know it was any different. So let's make it more different. I go in here, and instead of saying welcome to the about section, this is the about stuff place. Save, close everything, and just let's test it out now. Index. There we go. I click about. This is the about section. All right. There we go. That's how to do a absolute basic one. Let's get on to adding some images, right? So I'm going to put in here a little bit of text. It looks like this. I'm going to put it in my index.html. I always put this stuff not down there. That's not how to do it. You got to put it in the body. Put it in your body. Like this, right? Right now it's looking for dog.jpg. If I save this and I run it, nothing will happen because it'll be like, where's the dog? It's got the alt text here, you know? That's that bit where I've typed in here, if it doesn't show up, show them this text, which you see. But there is no picture of a dog. Right, so I'm going to have to try and insert a picture of a dog here. So what I do is I just want to make sure there is a dog.jpg somewhere in this folder. So I'm going to find a dog.jpg. Here's how you do it. You go into Google and you type funny dog. Sure, let's do a GIF. I like GIFs. Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, save as GIF. Make sure it's a GIF file, all right? I'm saving this on my desktop, and I'm making sure the folder is right, so I put it in my webs, okay? There we go. Now I go, and it's called funny doggo got GIF. I don't think that matches. This says dog, and that doesn't match at all. So look, let's just make it easier for ourselves. Let's rename this to dog. Now that there finally is a dog.gif which matches the dog.jpg, that's wrong. GIF. Save. I go into my website, and lo and behold, I see absolutely nothing because there's a terrible mistake. I'll give you 20 seconds to think about that mistake while I pretend that this is a quiz and not my own mistake as I check my own code and figure out what did I do wrong there. Oh, images.dog, that's my problem. Yes, this would work if I had a folder called images full of all my images and I put the dog in there. Okay, then it would work. Yeah, because now you can see it works, right? Maybe you don't want an image folder, so you don't have to have it in there. So I'm going to move it back outside, and I'm going to just change the file path, the path you walk to find this image. Just a dog, all right, if you don't want to put it in an image folder. A friendly doggo. Right, cool. Let's make the width 800. Let's make it a huge dog. Right, there we go. And now, look at that lovely lovely dog. All right, that's cool. The last part of this is my navigation bar. It's right now it's down there. That's not good. So I want to do my navigation bar to be a little better. Okay, and I'm going to go back into my referencing. By the way, where you would find this is W3 Schools, images for your images, sound for your sound. I'm going to go for navbar. Okay, let's see around. Okay, I click here, navigation bars. You can find this under how to, right? How to stuff. Click there, and look, you can find all this kind of stuff. Side navigation, split navigation, all this mad stuff. Okay, cool. But I'm just going to do the classic like navbar. Good morning. Okay, so I'm in top navigation bar. That's the one I've chosen to do. Nice and easy one. All right, and you can click this example to try it for yourself, and you can see what it's got here. Right, it's got the actual navbar is way down here, right, where it says like the div just means they've divided a little part of the website aside, and they put their stuff in here. Okay, this is news, contact, and about. Right, the actual styling for it, the styling goes up at the. So your CSS starts at style here, and it goes blah, 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 all the way down to where the style ends there. Okay, you'll notice it actually lives inside the head. So I'm going to copy this here. Here's my style. And then I'm going to go back into my web page, and I'm going to put it in the head. Okay, now in this example, they actually have a style sheet. So rather than putting it inline here, I could put it in there and it might work. But you know what's a much neater way to do it? Is to have a separate file called style.css. And I'm feeling ambitious today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a style CSS and you can't stop me. STYL.css. Yes. All right. I edit this and I paste in my style. Okay, I don't need that. I don't need to tell it's a style. It knows it's a style now because there you go. Get rid of these. Okay. Right. That is my style. And there is a link to it there in my head. So yes, I could just delete this link and paste in all that style CSS stuff there, but I don't make my web page very big and bulky. I want to keep it nice and neat and separate. This is fine. I like it. It's small, it's simple, and clear. All right. Cool. So let's see what happens. And now, if I open it up, okay, it's not showing up just yet because, right, so to apply my navbar class, basically, you see here where it says .top navbar. This is in the CSS file, all right, it's in CSS. This is how I decorate my web page. And I say, if it's a top nav class, I can call this whatever pizza class if I want, right? But whenever the website sees this, it does this, hover over, active, and all this kind of cool decoration stuff, right? But that's the name of my class. And I need to tell it in index.html over here that that is the name of my class. So class is equal to, there we go, top nav. All right, and now when I open it up, it says, oops, hang on, you don't need the dot, you don't need the dot in the actual thing. All right, there we go. I'm making the mistakes for you, obviously on purpose. So now there we go. What a lovely top navigation bar seems to be at the bottom. Yes, another lesson that I intended to teach. I'm going to open this again, and I guess I need to move this up. All right. So this is my top nav bar. Let's move it up to the top of the body, up here. All right. Now save it. Now go to your web page and reload it. There we go. About. Now I click about, and it goes to the about section. All right. So that is it. You got a web page and it works. Cool beans.